He lost 3 months of work over the weekend when his cameraman was robbed while using a Pembina bank machine. Doherty was almost finished shooting a low-budget feature called Bangers, which pokes fun at the heavy metal scene in the 80s. When the cameraman stopped to use the ATM, two guys stole his backpack. Inside 30 digital tapes, all the movie's footage. Doherty hopes the young thieves will realize they have no use for the tapes and return them.
That which was fairly routine, but unfortunately, it caused something to happen that creates news. This is not the kind of news that we like seeing created in our own community. Kevin, welcome to Adler Online.
Hi, thank you.
What happened to you on Friday?
It didn't happen to me. It happened to my cameraman. He was heading out to Lorette. We were supposed to shoot some scenes in Lorette, and on his way out to the shoot, he stopped at a bank machine to make a cash withdrawal, and he had brought his duffel bag with him. And on the way back to his car, after taking his cash out, two kids approached him and asked him for a cigarette, and he said he didn't have one. And they asked him what was in the bag, and they started pulling at it. And so they jumped him, and they beat him pretty good, and they made away with his bag. The good news is that his health is okay and that he's not hospitalized or anything. The bad news is all of the footage that I've been shooting for my film since July was in his bag, all of the master tapes, and these kids made away with it.
Friday night on Pembina Highway?
Yeah, at roughly around 7 o'clock at the CIBC instant teller.
We're getting this, almost on a daily basis. We're hearing about young punks asking people if they've got some cigarettes, if they've got some smokes, and then they get mugged. And in this particular case, what on earth would they be doing with your film?
I don't know. That's the question I hope somebody can answer for me. They're digital videotapes, and you cannot watch them without a digital videotape player. I have put so much time and effort, not only me, but my cast and my crew. I haven't applied for any government grants, so all the money incurred has been absorbed by me. I've been paying for this production out of my own wallet, and these tapes can be, they're just meaningless to these kids. And if anybody sees these little digital videotapes lying around in a bag somewhere, I need them back really bad.
These kids, how old were they?
Brett said that they could have been in between 18 to 22. The thing is, when he got jumped, it was a blur, and he doesn't remember a lot, and he couldn't give the police a good description, other than the fact that he managed to hit one of the kids in the nose, and he suspects he may have broken the nose because it was gushing blood, and he thought he heard a crack. So this kid has to show up at a hospital somewhere for repair.
What kind of repairs had to be done to the cameraman?
The cameraman is fine. He got a bit of a black eye, and he got a welt on his cheek, and they kicked him in the ribs, and he's got bruised ribs, but he's back at work.
And I guess what he's most miffed about, as unusual as this may sound to some people, is not the bruising he got, but all of this work. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of work put in down the tubes, unless you can retrieve the tapes.
Not only the production hours, but the hours involved leading up to production. Everybody working on the production is volunteering their time. They're booking off work. They're missing wages to participate in this. The props and the wardrobe, it takes place in 1984, so I spent a lot of money on eBay trying to get all kinds of period-style clothing and the props, and he feels bad too. He feels really bad because it's not his fault. We're trying to reassure him that it couldn't be helped. But fortunately, the cast and crew are showing solidarity, and they're willing to do whatever it takes if we have to reshoot.
Kevin, tell me about the movie that you were shooting.
Yeah, it's called Bangers, and it pokes fun of the heavy metal scene of the early 80s, the fashions and the fads of the heavy metal scene.
So you're making fun of people like my producer, Lizard Wallace, who was a banger back then?
Oh, I could use him as an extra.
Not now. In those days, he had hair down to his you-know-what, and now he's bald.
Well, my actors, they don't have long hair. We rented a whole bunch of wigs from Malabar's. Malabar's was very understanding. They usually charge you $20 a day for a wig. I've got 9 long-haired wigs, and they just charged me $200 to have the wigs for as long as I need them. So
there's no doubt that a lot of people cooperated, and a lot of Manitobans helped out, and all the rest, and all it takes is one stupid incident. Now, is there going to be a reward? You know how it is. Some people need an incentive to do the right thing.
I haven't even thought of that. I don't I don't have a lot of money. A lot of the money that I had went into this production, and I had to take out some loans and some cash advances to cover a lot of the costs. I don't know what I can offer as a reward, other than the fact that if somebody turns these in, I'll never forget them, and I'll try to reward them in the future if they turn up.
All right, let's get as specific a description as we can, and then a phone number from you.
A description of
what is missing.
Okay, they're digital videotapes. They're smaller than the camcorder tapes. They're quite small and compact.
What's the marking?
The marking?
Yeah, what kind of markings would they have?
Well, there's some handwriting on some of them. They're Fuji and Sony tapes. They're small. They're in side cases.
There are lots of them.
There's lots of them, and they were inside his duffel bag, and I don't know if these kids went through it and threw the duffel bag away or just discarded it somewhere. It has to be out there somewhere.
Would you describe the duffel bag for me?
I don't know what it looks like. I don't know.
All right. How about a phone number?
Yeah, they can call me.
Okay, and you're in the book?
Yes.
Okay, that's Doherty, spelled Doherty.
Yeah.
His phone number is 668-0656. But look, folks, if you know the whereabouts of these tapes and you want to contact me, I'll make sure that I get them to Kevin as well. And I think that you'll be taken care of. It's very important. We're talking about a lot of work, a lot of emotion, a lot of struggle, a lot of creativity. And let's find a way of making sure that all that pays off for a fellow Manitoban. Kevin, good luck to you and your cameraman.
Thank you very much, Charles.
And the rest of your good crew. Thank you so much. This is CJOB 68 Adler Online.
Adler Online with Charles Adler. You're riveted to the superstation. CJOB 68. Adler will be right back to hammer home his opinion. Nail down your points at 780-6860.